Multi-million-dollar houses, a huge amount of jewelry, and a reputation as some of the best running backs of the past few decades. The Bengals, Joe Mixon, and the Cowboys' Ezekiel Elliott have a lot in common. But when it comes down to who has the more incredible lifestyle, only one of them can come out on top. So join us today as we go through all the details to figure out once and for all who wins this luxury battle. And believe me, there are going to be some shocking details. Round 1. Residences. Now, as a general rule of thumb, footballers are the kind of people who like to show off what they own. But that doesn't mean that privacy concerns don't occasionally pop up from time to time. And for people as high profile as Elliott and Mixon, the safety for your family and your home is extremely important of a concern, which is why Joe Mixon has kept the sharpest details of his home a secret. But seeing as it is the internet age, we were clearly able to find a few details that show you quite clearly that although he's not interested in showing it, that doesn't mean that the house he owns is any less of show-worthy. According to most reports, a 27-year-old was living in a 4-bedroom house in the Bengals' hometown of Cincinnati until about 2 years ago, when he sold the house to move elsewhere. It included a ton of amenities, a dedicated wet bar, wine cellar, and a fully fledged home theater. As for right now, while the location and state of his current home are not known, he did invest in a 1.13-acre property a few months back near the Coldstream County Club, a highly exclusive area of the Cincinnati region. And while nothing can be said for certain, this $3.2 million property seems to be the location where Mixon will be building his next star home. On the other hand, we have the Dallas Cowboy himself, Ezekiel Elliott, whose home is not only publicly listed, but he seems to love showing it off. And honestly, with a house like this one, it'll be hard not to. Situated in the ridiculously upscale area of Frisco, Texas, this luxury Cheeto-style property is spread across a massive 7,518 square feet and cost the running back a ridiculously $2.4 million when he purchased it back in 2018. And boy, does this kind of stuff of money get you some stuff. Not only does Zeke's house contain a 6-bath and 4-bed setup, but it also contains a dedicated library, wine cellar, and a massive kitchen with trim made from hundreds of year-old French oak, a gigantic lawn and garden area, and everything else in between. This mansion isn't the only thing he purchased using his first $16 million signing bonus, because he also purchased another house for his parents, and while we don't know the exact details of that home, the fact that he did such a thing and that his house is so visibly awesome means that we have to give this round to Ezekiel. Round 2. Cars. Moving on with our comparison, one thing that both Mixon and Elliott like to show off is their car collections. Mixon, for example, has been a connoisseur of the automotive world for a while and can often be seen arriving for practice or on important matches in one of his many incredible rides. According to most people, his car collection includes machines like a beautiful and ultra-premium Bentley Continental GT, a wicked fast and loud Dodge Challenger, a red Corvette C8 that he has customized with bespoke Forgata wheels, a custom paint job with red accents, and a nano ceramic window tint. He's also a proud owner of a Tesla, a Model X with tinted windows to be exact. Many of these same things can be said about Zeke's collection, who has often been spotted driving his Dodge Durango SRT Hellcat with custom racing stripes across the city. That being said, even though he owns a sweet Hellcat, the fact that his collection is so limited, especially when compared to Mixon's extremely well-rounded garage, means that we have to give this round to the Bengal with his perfect 4-car system. Round 3. Special expenses. Now we can talk about cars and houses all day long, but at the end of the day, they both tend to be considered necessities. This is why many people think that the better benchmark of how much a person spends on his money is to look at how he spends it on stuff he doesn't need. These are your watches, specialty clothes, jewelry, and other such items, and both of the people we're looking at today have a knack for these kind of outrageous items. For example, Joe Mixon actually got in trouble one time because of his love for jewelry. You see, when the draft was coming up and Joe thought that he had a good chance of being drafted early, he ordered nearly $200,000 worth of jewelry from a local shop and allegedly forgot to pay the guy in full afterwards. Seeing how the running back recently commissioned over $400,000 worth of jewelry, chains, and diamond-studded watches for the Bengals match against the Raiders. This order, which was flown in outside from Cincinnati from a shop called Gabriel the Jeweler. In fact, Ezekiel doesn't know that much professional jewelry according to most reports, and while he has been seen wearing wearing a ton of watches over the years, the only one he is known to own is a $35,000 Rolex, which, while still impressive, is not enough compared to Mixon's $500,000 in jewelry. He commissioned If & Co., the famous jeweler, to create a 214 pieces to commemorate his friend with Dak Prescott, his fellow teammate. And if it isn't obvious, the 214 is a reference to their jersey numbers, with Elliott being 21 and Prescott being 4. Still, as adorable as it is, it's not enough to save him from Mixon's borderline obsession with jewelry, which means that this round goes to the Cincinnati player as well. Round 4. Businesses and Charity. Now that we have covered some of the things that they might have used their money to acquire, let's take a look at how they have managed to employ their wealth directly. First, let's take a look at Mixon, who has used his public image as a star athlete to create relationships with brands like Madden, Kroger, and even Head & Shoulders, and is said to have a decent portfolio of investments otherwise. He's also a practicing philanthropist, having donated a considerable amount of money as well as personal time to helping his community. He's also known for often working with organizations like Strikes for Kids and his alma mater, Freedom High School in Oakley, CA. As he once stated, "This community has embraced me and become a second home for me. So to be able to give back and inspire these children is the least I can do." Zeke is also not far behind, having invested in businesses like Encore Golf, a cutting-edge golf equipment and services firm, and Zeke Shop, his own clothing line. As a result, even though both of them are active members in their communities, due to his larger sums and more visible work, we have to give this round to the cowboy. Round 5. Net worth. Finally, at the end of our comparison, with both competitors having won 2 rounds each, let's talk about the most important distinction for discussions like this: their respective networks. Joe Mixon, as we mentioned earlier, has earned a considerable amount of money from his endorsements and brand deals, but the bulk of his earnings still comes from the league. First being drafted back in 2017, the Bengal originally signed a 4-year, $5.45 million contract with a $2.1 million signing bonus, and since then he has signed another $48 million extension to his contract with a $10 million bonus, $10 million guaranteed, and an average salary of $12 million for the next couple of years. Elliott also has a similar story, having been drafted a year before Mixon in the 2016 draft with a massive $25 million rookie deal with a $16 million signing bonus, and thanks to his excellent performance, he was able to renew his contract in 2020 with a lucrative $90 million 6-year deal, making him one of the best paid guys not only on the team, but in the league in general. All this basically boils down to Elliott having a net worth of $25 million as of 2023 compared to Mixon's $10 to $12 million for the same date. And it is for that reason that, in spite of everything else, we must name Ezekiel Elliott the winner of this comparison. And with that, we've come to an end of our lifestyle war between Ezekiel Elliott and Joe Mixon. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, leave a like and subscribe for more. With that, I'll see you guys next time. Click on one of the other videos on your screen right now.